Yes.
You've expressed your confidence that Congress will, in the not-too-distant future, pass the necessary $24 billion in funds that you say are necessary going forward in Ukraine. By what date does that need to occur to not have any impact? What is the urgency, and how soon does that need to happen to make sure that there is no let-up in the effort to help support the Ukrainians?
Well, just to be clear, the supplemental funding package that we put forward to the Hill was for the period from the end of the fiscal year to the end of the calendar year, basically September 30th to the end of the year. So there's not a single dollar amount that is necessary for all time. We need funding to keep going, meaning that if, for example, the Congress passed a shorter package, you could have a proportional amount or a longer package, et cetera.
New package need to be passed.
We will want to see additional funding for Ukraine after the end of the fiscal year, so after September 30th, meaning that we would like additional resources from the Congress on October 1st to be able to ensure that there's no disruption in the supply of funding to
Ukraine.
Ukraine.
What point would there be a disruption? If we pass, what date would there be a disruption, given the fears about this not passing?
Well, I mean, there's a sliding scale of disruption, but the day after the funds lapse or run out at the end of the fiscal year, there would be a break if we do not get the funding starting October 1st. That's why we are making the case to the Congress that we should see additional funding at that time.
Can we follow up on the Congress? Speaker McCarthy, as has now been reported, turned down President Zelensky's desire to speak for a joint session of Congress. Obviously, they control Congress, you don't. But what do you think that says to the American people if Zelensky was not given that opportunity, given the stakes that you say exist right now?
I've read the reports of that. I haven't heard it directly, so it's hard for me to comment or speculate on it. What I will say is that President Zelensky just spent hours up on the Hill with Democrats and Republicans, and not just behind closed doors, but out in public to be able to explain his case and to stand, frankly, with members who want to also make the case that this should continue. So I keep saying basically the same thing standing up here that I genuinely believe, which is there is a vocal, quite small minority of members who are raising questions. There is a very strong, overwhelming majority of members, both Democrats and Republicans, who want to see aid continue, and I believe that's where the American people are as well. So I believe that will shine through in the end, yes.